Good evening, school board trustees, Superintendent Soto, cabinet members, and members of the audience. We're going to go ahead and begin our recognitions for this evening. We have quite a few, so when you see your picture or slide up there, feel free to start making your way up to the stage, okay? San Antonio Sports has announced coaches for the 2026 San Antonio Sports All-Star Basketball Games presented by Valero, set for Sunday, April 12 at Northside Sports Gym. The event will showcase 120 top high school seniors and team blue versus white match up across two divisions. Each session will feature both a girls and a boys game with an all-star skills challenge and three-point contest taking place between the afternoon and evening sessions. All games will air on KSAT 12 and rosters will be released in late January. Among this year's coaches is one of our own. Please join us in congratulating McCollum Cowboys girls basketball coach Ernest Lopez for being selected to coach in the 2026 San Antonio Sports All-Star Game. Congratulations. Congratulations. Congratulations to our McCollum High School volleyball team on an incredible run this season. Our girls earned the title of District 28 5A champs, secured a bi-district championship, and finished as area finalists. A special shout out to head coach Valerie Vieira and her coaching team for their leadership and commitment throughout the season. To the players, congratulations again on a standout year. Can everyone see me? Can everyone see me? Ms. Cavazos, if we can have you maybe out here. Yeah. I can't see Ms. Ortiz. Okay, there you go. There we go. Can everyone see me? Okay. Okay, if you can't see me, we can't see you.
All right, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, down. That's everybody.
Okay. Congratulations. Oh, sorry. One more photo. 1
2, 3. Got it. Okay.
Congratulations. Congratulations to the Harlandale and McCollum High School marching bands for an award-winning season. Both programs earned superior ratings at the UIL Region 11 marching competition and advanced to the 5AH area marching contest earlier this month. Harlandale High School, led by headband director Anthony Castillo, delivered a powerful show titled Picture It My Way. And McCollum High School, under the direction of headband director Gilbert Borrego, captivated audiences with reframed evolution of photography and advanced to the finals at the area contest. Congratulations to both marching bands on an incredible marching season.
There we go. Here you go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, got it.
Nice. So now, Harlandale.
Okay, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, got it.
Congratulations. Special Olympics Texas hosted its annual Breakfast of Champions fundraising event at Christopher Hall, bringing together leaders from across the area for a morning focused on learning and supporting athletes. The event aims to shine a spotlight on the stories of Special Olympics athletes and families as they share, in their own words, the impact of the organization has shared on their lives. This year, a McCollum High School family represented Harlandale ISD. Special Olympics athlete Rosa Robledo and her mother, Alicia Alicia Pacheco were invited to speak at the event, reflecting on their experiences and the role Special Olympics has played in their journey. It was an honor for their voices to be featured on such an important platform. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Top five students,
I want to give a shout out to top 5 students.
academic.
Okay. Okay. Each year, the Texas House of Representatives decorates its Christmas tree with ornaments to represent every district across the state. This year, House District 118's ornament was designed by Schultz Elementary fifth grader Sabina Escobedo. Among its features, Sabina's ornament includes the Harlandale ISD logo and the Alamo, reflecting both district pride and our city's history. Please join us in congratulating Sabina on this special achievement.
One, two.
Mom wants to. 1, 2, 3. Got it. Thank you.
Our Makerspace Malik's drone team earned top honors at the Boeing Port Tech Center at Port San Antonio, where Amazon and CPS hosted a regional competition to bring together programs from across the area. Under the direction of Coach Charles Hernandez, the 5-member team rose to the top, earning first place overall in their division, first place in Drone Genius, and the Best Engineering Award. No other program walked away with this many awards, making our students a standout at this competition. The team includes Alex Tijerina, remote pilot and command and team captain, Audrey Gonzalez, executive radio operator, Benjamin Gamboa, date entry, David Villegas and Brandon Salmeron, visual observers and radio operators. Congratulations. We can have everyone with the certificate out.
Cavazos, can you go get? There you go. Okay, there we go. Ready? Here we go, over here.
First.
1, 2, 3, got it.
One more.
That does it for our recognitions. Before we wrap, we do want to give a shout out to our volleyball players. We had 5 members perform academically very well, so we do want to give everyone a shout out. That does it for our recognitions this evening. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. Give me 1 second while I situate myself here. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We are at a regular board meeting of the Harlandale ISD trustees. Today is Wednesday, November 19th, 2025. We're going to have the thought of the day and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Hello, welcome Superintendent and School Board and community members. Um, Today, we are going to be reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. So we have the welcoming and both pledges.
Hello and welcome to my favorite school in Harlandale ISD, Gillette Elementary. We thank you for being here this evening and supporting everything that is good for our students. Tonight we will be reciting both pledges. We ask that you stand for both of our United States Pledge of Allegiance, led by Bea Cárdenas, and the Texas Pledge, led by America Rodriguez.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honora a la bandera de Texas. Te prometo lealtad a ti, Texas, un estado ante Dios único e indivisible. You may be seated. Thank you so much for being here today. It's our pleasure to host our community. And now for the thought of the day from our school leader and principal, Ms. Hassel.
At Gillette Elementary, November invites us to slow down and notice every blessing. We give thanks for our veterans whose bravery lights the path of freedom we walk each day. And as the autumn leaves remind us that change can be beautiful, may we fill our days with kindness, gratitude, and courage of our own. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We are calling the meeting to order at 6:19 p.m. And if we can turn on our electronical clickers so we can take roll call of the trustees present, please. Thank you very much. And we are all present. We do have a quorum. Mr. Soto, would you let us know who's here from cabinet and staff, please?
Yes, Madam Chair, Board of Trustees, HISD Community. This evening, we have our Assistant Superintendent for Business and Finance, Mr. Flores.
Here.
We have our Executive Director of Operations, Dr. Hinojosa.
Here.
We have our Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum Instruction, Ms. Casey.
Here.
And filling in for Dr. Salinas is Ms. Sandra Uriquiz from Human Resources.
Here.
And from our Public Information Director is Ms. Melinda Garza.
Here.
And before we start, Madam Chair, Mr. Martinez's birthday, and he decided to join us as well.
I expect a piece of cake before the meeting ends. Thank you, Mr. Soto. Ms. Patty, did anybody sign up for public comment? Nobody did. Okay, moving on to agenda item 4, announcements. Ms. Garza?
Good evening, school board trustees, Superintendent Mr. Soto, cabinet, and members of the audience. We're going to go ahead and begin our announcements for this evening. Our Harlandale ISD students recently had the chance to attend the 2025 San Antonio Challenge at the UTSA Convention Center, where they were treated to a surprise visit from Spurs player Keldon Johnson. Hosted by UTSA Athletics in partnership with Harvey Nahim, the event supported UTSA student athletes and local literacy efforts, including Harlandale ISD's sixth grade reading challenge. Students enjoyed an afternoon of basketball as the UTSA women's team faced Texas A&M San Antonio, and the men's team took on UIW, and all while helping shine a spotlight on literacy and learning across the area. We'd like to shine a spotlight on 87 students from Harlandale High School, McCollum High School, and STEM Early College High School who have been honored through the College Board National Recognition Programs. And for reference, we had 37 in 2024, so it's a big jump from last year. These students have demonstrated exceptional academic achievement, and this prestigious recognition will open doors for them as they prepare for college and scholarships. The academic honors recognize first-generation students in addition to rural and small-town, Black, Indigenous, and Hispanic or Latino students. We're incredibly proud of our students and their commitment to academic excellence. So we have a few upcoming theater performances. We have a chorus line. So McCollum High School Theater presents a chorus line that is November 19th to the 21st. So they're actually going to start today. Their show is at 7 p.m. at McCollum High School Auditorium. We have Harlandale High School Theater presents Hadestown Teen Edition. Their show is running from December 4th through the 6th, 6:30 p.m. at the Harlandale High School Auditorium. And we have Kingsborough Middle School Theater presents Legally Blonde Jr. That's December 11th through the 13th, and there are a variety of times for that show, and that'll be at the McCollum High School Auditorium. We are gearing up for our 50th annual Cultural Arts Fair, and we need our students' creativity to help us bring it to life. All Harlandale ISD students are invited to participate in the Name the Theme contest, with the winning entry setting the theme for our 50th annual Cultural Arts Fair and Parade on Saturday, March 28th. We ask our campuses to invite your students to scan the QR code on the graphic or visit harlandale.net/name-the-theme to submit their idea. We look forward to seeing the creative themes of our students. And we have had quite a few share already, and they're pretty creative, so we're very excited. And again, this is our 50th anniversary. Our Harlandale community is invited to help celebrate Southside Pride and contribute to a new public art project honoring our community's rich history. Local artist Ashley Mireles will host the Harlandale Public Art Project photo series Southside Pride Community Workshop at the World Heritage Center on Saturday, November 22nd from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. During the workshop, families are encouraged to bring their favorite photographs that reflect life in Harlandale, whether family gatherings, celebrations, school traditions, or neighborhood landmarks. Participants will have their photos scanned and safely returned and have the opportunity to share the stories behind each image and learn how these memories may help shape a future public art piece for Harlandale Park. The Harlandale Public Art Project is being commissioned by the City of San Antonio Department of Arts and Culture. And this next slide is instructions for anyone who wants to attend. So there is a QR code for the form and then one for an email. So anyone who wants to participate, again, this is Saturday, November 22nd from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And anyone is welcome to share photos at this event. Our Harlandale ISD Police Department is inviting the community to help spread holiday spirit by way of their third annual toy drive. Through December 8th, staff and community members are invited to donate new unwrapped toys to help ensure that every child in Harlandale ISD experiences the joy of the season. Donation drop-off locations include any Harlandale ISD campus and the Harlandale ISD Police Department at 635 Rayburn Drive. The toy drive unites officers, staff, and community partners with the shared goal of bringing smiles to children and families during the holidays. Donations directly support student ISD students, reinforcing the district's commitment to care both in and out of the classroom. For more information or to coordinate a donation, please call 210-989-4753. And this is a save the date for our class of 2026 commencement ceremonies. So first up, this is the final save the date. So we have STEM Early College High School, June 3rd at 10 a.m. at St. Mary's University. We have Frank Tejeda Academy, June 3rd at 2 p.m. at St. Mary's University. We have Harlandale High School, June 4th at 12 noon at the Freeman Coliseum, and we have McCollum High School on June 4th at 6 p.m. at the Freeman Coliseum. So we were lucky to save the exact same dates as last year, so June 3rd and 4th. All we're doing is swapping the campuses. We do have a reminder, so we have Thanksgiving break. We will have no school from December 24th through the 28th. Classes will resume Monday, December 1st, so we want to wish all of our families and our students a happy Thanksgiving break. This is our district ADA by date, and this is the last week, so Wednesday to Wednesday. So we had enrollment, last Wednesday was 11,068. Thursday, Friday was the same at 11,072. Monday, we had 11,099. Tuesday and Wednesday, so yesterday and today, we had 11,097. And then percentage, so this is attendance. We had last Wednesday, 93%. We had a little dip on Friday at 89.86. Monday, we had 90.32. Yesterday, we had 92.28, and today we had 92.91. And again, that is our attendance. Important dates coming up. So we have a chorus line at the McCollum High School Auditorium, November 19th through the 21st at 7 p.m. We have Thanksgiving break, Monday 24th through the Friday, November 28th. We have Hadestown at Harlandale High School, December 4th through the 6th at 6:30 p.m. We have the Harlandale PD Toy Drive. This is all campuses again, and the PD office at Rayburn. And this ends on December 8th. And then we have Legally Blonde Junior at McCollum High School Auditorium. This is December 11th through the 13th. And we do have the flyer that has various times that day. That does it for recognitions. Does anyone have any questions or comments?
Madam Chair, with the graduations, should have an asterisk. Hopefully, our gymnasium will be done, our performing arts. So Frank Tejeda's and STEMs would be,
Yes, so right now, we did want to save St. Mary's for, it's always good to save them for a rainy day. Yes, but the hope is that we will have our multipurpose arena ready to go, hopefully by April or May, which would mean we could possibly have this at these two campuses, which would be STEM and Frank Tejeda at the new multipurpose arena.
also, I want to commend people personnel, as Ms. Hassel's mentioned about gratitude. Yesterday, we ended up serving about 500 of the HISD community at the food giveaway. So let's give them a round of applause. And about an hour and a half ago, we also had a San Antonio Spurs, the point guard, Mr. Fox, come in and give 50 meals. I mean, we're talking about the turkey, the bread, the green beans, the corn from scratch, pumpkin pie, and $50 to each one of those families. So we want to thank a fellow San Antonio Spurs for doing that out of his heart.
Any questions? I actually have a question. When will the toy drive event take place?
December 11th, yeah, December 11th.
Thank you so much. Anybody else? Thank you, Ms. Garza.
Thank you.
Moving on to agenda item 5, information and reports. 5A, Ms. Casey?
Yes, today we have Mr. Norberto Gonzalez. He is our CCMR coordinator, and he will be presenting on GPM 1.2 and 1.3. They have to deal with our progress towards our Go and Dual Credit and dual enrollment courses, as well as TSI Math, SAT, ACT, and college prep courses.
Good evening, school board trustees, Mr. Soto, and cabinet members. My name is Norberto Gonzalez. I'm the CCMR coordinator, and I'm here to talk about 2 of our goal progress measures, 1.2 and 1.3. So we'll be looking at some data. And also, after we go over the 2 goals, I will discuss some glows and grows and what we're doing to improve our performance. Things that I'm doing in my role to support campus principals with the performance. And then I'm going to share some ideas how you can support CCMR initiatives, and I'll end with some celebrations. So here's our first GPM, it's 1.2. It's the percent of students who passed 1 or more dual credit or dual enrollment course classes will increase from 31% to 36% by 2026. And listed on this slide are all the IHEs that we partner with to provide those experiences for our students. We have Texas A&M San Antonio, which serves our STEM Early College High School. We have UT On-Ramps, which serves our comprehensive high schools at Harlandale and McCollum. We have a new partner with Tarleton State University. We partner with them, for our CTE education and training courses. And our students are able to earn college credit. We also partner with Alamo Colleges through some dual credit courses, Alamo Academies, and also one of our newer partners as well is McMurray University. This slide here looks at the dual credit, dual enrollment CCMR indicators, and this is the same indicator that is reported for accountability for the district, for each campus. And I just wanted to show you the trend of where we're at. If you're going back to 2022, we were at 26%, took a bit of a dip, but then in 2024, we did start seeing an increase. And then for the class of 2025, we saw a 6 percentage point increase. So if you look at the gold, that's Harlandale, and the gray is the state. So we're pretty much right with the state. We won't have the 2025 state data until a year from now. So a year from now, we'll kind of revisit that. And then I'm happy to report that for the class of 2026, we're projecting that we're at around 33%. So yet another increase. And actually that's the highest looking back, back all the way to 2022. And our goal is 36%, so we're right there. And then I'm showing the same information, but by campus. It kind of mirrors the district, but sometimes it's a little bit different. This is McCollum going back to 2022. They kind of mirror what we were seeing with the district, but they were a little bit below the state. But in 2024, we did start seeing an increase of 5 percentage points at 22%. The class of 2025 showed another gain of 24%. And now with the class of 2026, we have a 9% increase in dual credit, dual enrollment. And I think one of the contributing factors there is that we have a dual credit teacher who can teach English at McCollum. And last year we had just English 3 dual credit, and this year she's teaching English 3 and English 4. So we have a bigger cohort of students going through that program. Harlandale High School, their story is a little bit different. It's actually, they're a little bit more consistent. They just show a steady increase, a slight decline but it's not really significant, 28% to 26%. Again, that's a projection, but I think Harlandale's been a little bit more steady with their dual credit enrollment. And again, they're right there with the state. And then we have STEM, of course, it's our early college high school. So they're way above the state, which they're supposed to be based on the program. And we did have a couple of years where it wasn't 100% in 23 and 24, but the class of 2025, we do have 100% of our students meeting that indicator. Right now, we're projecting, we have around 4 or 5 students who are not there just yet, but campus leadership, the counselors, they're working with the students to make sure that they earn that all the dual credit courses that they need to. And I didn't want to forget about the HEDA. I just wanted to highlight the HEDA. We have 6 students who were enrolled in a dual credit course through McMurray University, and we have 5 of them who are projected to earn 3 hours of college credit, and we actually would like to double that amount for the spring semester. So that's great news for the HEDA. So it's it's a celebration for them. We also talked about possibly offering college prep at the HEDA, so we're still looking at how we can do that. And then another thing I wanted to highlight for the HEDA was we subscribe to the National Student Clearinghouse, where it tracks all of our graduates and where they end up after high school. And for the class of 2024, which is the latest data, we have 22% of the students who graduated at the HEDA enrolled in a post-secondary institution, and that's the highest we've ever seen. So that's cause for celebration. Since we've been tracking, that's the highest number. So I just wanted to shout out to Frank the HEDA team, all the teachers, and the students, of course, for achieving that success. Another spotlight I wanted, since we're talking about dual credit and dual enrollment, I wanted to bring a spotlight on our UT Austin on-ramps partnership. Since 2022, you can see that we've really increased our numbers and the number of students, and this is individual kids. This is not duplicated in grades 10 through 12 who are in a dual enrollment course. The class of 2025, we had a huge increase from 358 students to 530. And now we have almost 600. And so this school year, and this is grades 10 through 12, we have 591 students enrolled in an on-ramps course. We did move some of our AP courses from the AP program to on-ramps. And so we're seeing a huge increase there. But that's the highest we've ever had. So that's also great news. This shows the same numbers, but I just wanted to share the comparison between Harlandale and McCollum. They're pretty even, but right now for the class this school year, the 25-26 school year, we have around 100 more kids at McCollum taking these courses than Harlandale. And that leads me to that concludes GPM 1.2. And so now I'm going to talk about GPM 1.3, which is on college ready performance. This is GPM 1.3. It reads the percentage of students who meet college ready
Yes, Mr.
performance.
Mancha, give me
I'm
one
sorry.
second.
I'm
Mr.
sorry to
Gonzalez.
interrupt you, sir. Right before we get going, everybody stayed real quiet when Tejeda got some of our kids from Tejeda to actually go to secondary school. Nobody even flinched. That's amazing. You know, we need to share that in social media. We need to advertise Tejeda because they're doing a wonderful job. These are the kids that everybody has labeled as not gonna succeed. I was one of those kids that everybody labeled me as one that's not gonna make it. So for me to hear that, sir, that's wonderful news. I expected everybody to start clapping and I waited and nobody even reacted. Yet we clap when our numbers go up 1% on our regular kids. It's like, come on, man, let's get happy for these kids. That is an amazing accomplishment. Sorry to interrupt that, but man, I needed to acknowledge those kids.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to bring a spotlight to it. So that's why I wanted to highlight that on the slideshow. So it is a huge accomplishment for our students at Tejeda.
Madam Chair,
Yes, Mr. Luna.
before we move on to the next GPM, I want to had a question on just GPM 1.2. Going back to the percents of 31, 36 overall, is that the overall score? Does that include STEM students as well? The whole district, right?
Yes, the whole district.
So
And that's
for-
specifically for the seniors. So like
Oh.
the class of 2025, the class of 2024.
So it's just seniors
Yeah.
on that? Okay.
Mhm.
Because I wanted to know what, see if we can find out what percent of that 30s, whatever percent it is, are just from STEM. So I'm trying to see how many of the kids in the traditional high schools are participating in dual language courses.
Mm.
You can break that down, later on.
Yeah, I don't have the numbers here. I have the percentage when we looked at the campus level.
May I interrupt? You said dual language or dual credit? Because
I
we're
mean, dual
talking about
credit,
dual credit.
dual credit.
Okay.
Madam Chair.
Yes, Mr. Soto.
Mr. Luna, we gotta be careful with that because these are McCollum students and Harlandale students. And in an ideal world, we wouldn't have a STEM early college. Those kids would be at their home campus impacting the accountability for McCollum and Harlandale. But we have a STEM that was done a few years back and it has hurt the traditional high schools, but they belong to Harlandale and they belong to McCollum. STEM is just a brick and mortar that we built to do a partnership with our early college, but those children should be held with their accountability with their home school. And when we built STEM, it took that away. So we can get that number, but those kids do belong to Harlandale and McCollum, just like the Frank Tejeda kid belongs to McCollum and Harlandale. And you're exactly right with that. All right, so just, we got to err on the side of caution.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Yes. Oh, can I continue to the next one? Okay. So the GPM 1.3, this one reads the percentage of students who meet college ready performance in both reading and math on TSI SAT, ACT, or college prep course will increase from 28% to 44% by 2026. So this measure, it's not just one assessment, it's several assessments. So it's a TSIA 2 or the SAT or the ACT or a college prep course. And it has to be in both reading and math, not just one subject. This slide breaks it down by subject area. And I wanted to highlight this on purpose just to show you where we're at by subject before we combine both subjects. We have made gains in math, and this was for the class of 2025. This was the first class in a while who did better in math than in ELA. So I thought that was very interesting. So the class of 2025 did improve by 11 percentage points. And so 43% of our 2025 graduates met the TSI exemption in math. ELA, the class of 2025, they also improved 8 percentage points and they ended up at 41%. I'm sorry for the typo there, but it should say 2025 graduates are at 41%, not 28%. Apologize for that typo, but we are at 41%. It's pretty close to math, like they're very even. But I just wanted to highlight that, you know, our students did better in math this time than ELA are. This slide combines both subjects, and this is how we're measured accountability as a district, as a campus. And I wanted to highlight that although we are behind the state's in that gray, the gray bar, and we're in the gold. From the class of 2024 to the class of 2025, our students improved by 8 percentage points. So we ended up at 28%. Our goal was 42%. You know, we didn't hit the goal, but I think 8 percentage points is a big, that was difficult to do. And so I was happy to see that our students, you know, improved from the previous class. This is both subjects again for TSI, but I just wanted to highlight the difference between male and female, if there was one. The class of 2024 had a significant gender gap where males were outperforming females, but with the class of 2025, the gender gap was closed. So they're pretty even. They're both at 28%. And this is a quick look by campus. I didn't have it by one slide per campus, but I wanted to highlight that Harlandale's 2025 graduates improved by 5%, McCollum by 11%, and STEM increased by 9 percentage points. And I feel that one of the main reasons why our students have improved, especially with last school year, we implemented a new TSIA 2 testing and intervention calendar where I started with the lead counselors, we worked together, and then we involved like our content coordinators, we involved district leadership, and we broke down what type of interventions our students are going to receive by grade level, by content area, and we even came to an agreement on when we're testing. Because prior to this calendar, everybody kind of tested at different times, but this is now we were all kind of uniform on the same page, and it's really helped our performance. This is the same calendar, but for the class of 2026, it spells out what we're doing with our seniors. We are incorporating college prep in all English 4 classes through the Texas College Bridge program. We also have a standalone Texas College Bridge course through math. We had some boot camps this past week in November on Monday and Tuesday at both Harlandale and McCollum in ELA and math, where we targeted specific students. So we go through a boot camp and then we test them pretty soon after that. And we also have weekly pullout testing from November through March. And actually we started doing that on Friday. So every week we have students taking the TSI. To help with spreading the word out of what TSIA 2 is, we made a one-pager for students and parents, but this has also been helpful for teachers, for our principals, for our assistant principals, for our counselors to talk to students about what it is. And it really just spells out, and we did have it in both English and Spanish, like what is it, who takes it, why is it important, and really stressing the students save time and they save money. Because if we're sending them to college and they're not passing this test, they have to take a developmental course. So instead of just taking English 1301, they take English 1301 and a developmental course. And if they haven't passed either subject, they have 4 subjects already in their schedule, and it's not a very fun schedule. So we're really emphasizing, this helps. The scores are good for 5 years, and it also includes how do you pass it. So we have like the cut scores. That way the students know, the parents know what the passing score is. And even we offer the SAT and the ACT. What are the scores on those subjects that it will exempt me from taking the test? Because if they do well enough on the SAT or the ACT, they don't have to worry about this TSIA 2. These are ways that we're improving our dual credit enrollment and our college readiness performance. We do have our glow is that we're doing really well when we look at for TSI, college ready performance on our individual subjects. So at math, we're at 43, at ELA, we're at 41. But our opportunity is when you combine the subjects. When we're looking at both subjects, we have a gap. And so we're at 28%. So you really need our performance on both subjects to mirror the performance on the single subjects. And what we're doing to improve that is we've refined that plan for this. This is our second school year. We're looking at that plan, so we refined it based on what we learned last year. For the class of 2026, just like I mentioned, we're incorporating college prep and English 4. We've offered boot camps, weekly testing, assessment access. All of our seniors are able to take the SAT twice during the school day and the ACT once. And we also have SAT Saturdays at McCollum. They're a testing site. We also have ACT Saturdays at STEM. They're also a testing site. So the access is definitely there for students to take advantage. We've also have, like I said earlier, the Texas College Bridge program, both at McCollum and at Harlandale, in all of our English 4 classes. As far as expanding dual credit, we are right there we are there like on target to meet our goal, but we've really increased our enrollments district-wide with UT on-ramps. We have new partnerships with Palo Alto offering dual credit at our Harlandale and McCollum this school year. We partnered with McMurray to offer dual credit at Frank Tejeda. And we are also added a new partner, Tarleton, helping us with our CTE courses. And I wanted to mention too, Palo Alto is also offering dual credit for some of our CTE programs, like our cybersecurity at the Carroll Bell Education Center. We've also launched some new courses with on-ramps in economics and government. And I just wanted to again highlight our FTA success. We have 6 students who are enrolled in dual credit. We plan to double that number for next semester. And again, 22% of our class of 2024 enrolled in some type of post-secondary institution. And I just wanted to highlight some of the things that I'm doing in my role as CCMR coordinator to help our campus principals in leadership development and coaching. I did help coordinate and facilitate a back-to-school training on CCMR 102. We had CCMR 101 like the previous year, and we invited principals, academic deans, all the counselors. I've also helped facilitate monthly coaching sessions with campus leadership on CCMR strategies. And we have this year, for the first time, we've had CCMR data meetings with the principal, the counselor, the academic dean, and the CCMR lead, just so we can kind of all look at it together and it's not after the fact. And I also helped with our partner Contigo Ed. They helped, in partnership with them, we sent 8 counselors and a principal to an advising and action workshop in late August. As far as assessment planning and intervention, I helped create the college readiness assessment calendar in collaboration with our lead counselors and our content coordinators and our district leadership. I helped coordinate the boot camps for TSIA 2 and SAT. We have an SAT boot camp coming up in the spring for STEM. And then we're also having another TSIA 2 boot camp for our juniors in the spring. And that's with Mastery Prep, one of our vendors. Another vendor that we've partnered with, they're new for this school year, is Chalk Talk. And we've incorporated test prep inside the classroom with our teachers in Pre-AP English 1, in all geometry classes, and all English 3 courses. And we've also provided TSIA 2 subs, so I help train them. That way they can support the campuses, and they are testing the students weekly. That way our counselors, it isn't if our counselors are pulled out testing, they're not helping our students. So our subs help fill that role for that to be a test administrator. Couple of other things for dual credit. I work with OnRamp's staff, and we're looking at I got trained on a data dashboard so I can monitor student engagement. We've piloted some new OnRamps courses. I've collaborated with our PEAMS coordinator and our campuses to make sure that our dual credit courses are coded correctly. So we're getting credit for everything that we're doing and everything that our students are doing on our campuses. We've hired a new Tamusa College Access Advisor. So I've worked with Tamusa to make sure that her schedule is supporting all 4 campuses and that it makes sense for Tamusa, it makes sense for us. So we're really excited to have her join us. And then really pushing college access and readiness. Last year, I coordinated our first college visit to UT Austin in the spring. It was a success. So this year we're doing 4. So we're taking over, by the end of the school year, it's going to be, we're taking over 250 students. We already took them to Texas A&M Corpus. We went to Texas State last week. We're going to Tamusa December 5th, and we're going to do another UT Austin trip in the spring. So they go, they do a campus tour, they hear from admissions, we feed them at the dining hall so they get that full experience, and we're trying to get them out of the little San Antonio bubble. That's on purpose. Just having that experience, and hopefully that's impacting them and their future goals. We've had a college fair back in October, and I helped recruit some admissions counselors. We had the Dean of Admissions from Trinity University, and we've never had them before. So I was excited for him to join us. And we also had someone from Harvard University. So very excited about our new people who are attending our college fair. For Texas College Bridge, I went into English War classes at Harlandale and McCollum, and I helped the English War teachers register the students because it could be a little, there could be some tech issues. So I went in and helped with that. And also I help make sure that all our college advisors, we have several across our campuses, that they have the access they need to help students with scholarships, with admissions applications. And so that's, in a nutshell, kind of what I do and other duties as assigned as well. And then I wanted to include how y'all can help support our CCMR goals and strategies. Some of the things is really visibility recognition, which I know y'all are very visible, but if you can help celebrate student and campus successes in CCMR, I love that. We had the slide in the beginning about the national recognition program, so I was happy to see that. It was also posted on our social media. Recognize our partnerships with higher education institutions, promoting CCMR achievements to communities and families, and if possible, advocating for CCMR initiatives at the state and regional levels. And I wanted to end with some celebrations. We successfully implemented a district college readiness plan. We're year 2 in partnership with Contigo Ed that includes strategic testing calendars, grade level specific interventions, targeted boot camps. We achieved an 8 percentage point increase in overall TSI college ready performance in the 24-25 school year. We've established a successful partnership with Mastery Prep. And in these boot camps, we're seeing if the students attend the boot camp, then around 35% of them are then passing the test afterwards. We've also increased our CCMR outcomes bonus revenue by 136%. And that's not a typo, 136% from 2023 to 2024. And I think this is reflecting the hard work that we're doing for college readiness across the district. That's my contact information. I'm at central office. Thank you very much for your time. And if you have any questions, I can take questions at this time.
Any questions? Ms. Ortiz?
Madam Chair. Okay, so I have a couple of questions, and please excuse my ignorance. Where's Tarleton located?
Tarleton, that's a great question. And I cannot tell you off the top of my head.
I've been there with my daughter in volleyball, but we've been all over the place, and I think it's up in Stephenville.
Stephenville.
Yeah, it's pretty far north.
North of Dallas.
Ms. Casey's telling me Stephenville. I'm not sure exactly where that's at.
And McMurray, Abilene, I'm thinking.
Abilene, McMurray's in
Okay.
Abilene.
And And how long have they been partners with us?
So Tarleton, this is their first year,
First year.
specifically with our education and training students, with the CTE program of study. McMurray, I believe this is our third year with McMurray University.
Okay. And so do we have a plan that if there are any of our students that are taking dual courses that are going to be attending either Tarleton or McMurray, that we would be following them to see if they attend, and if they attend, how successful they are? Is there do we have a way to track that?
We do have the National Student Clearinghouse, and it tells us where our students go. We haven't done that yet, but based on, we do have access to that data, but I guess we haven't tracked that specifically for the students who, I guess, then graduate. But we can see if, if they end up there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, even if we have one student
Mhm.
that attends and is successful, that's a success. And it'd be nice to be able to come around maybe after 5 years that they've been with us,
Mhm.
that we have some of that data, some of that feedback. But
Yes.
thank you so much, because I think that it's really important that our success is a success for our students, the South Side, and we're training the engineers and future doctors and lawyers, and we're training them right here. And thank you so much for that presentation.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Madam Chair,
Yes, Mr.
Mr.
Martinez.
Soto, is there any way that you can, I know we like percentages, but can I see row numbers by chance? Just to know what,
Yes, sir.
The-
We'll get it out in HH.
Yes, I can convert
you.
that. I'm not right now, but
well,
I
HH is
can
tomorrow.
provide that to you.
It'll be a quick turnaround, sir, tomorrow, but Mr. Littlefield can help you.
Yes, I can get that.
they were both my math teachers, you know that, right?
Anybody else? Yes, Mr. Luna.
Yeah, I think, great presentation. And I see here that you have how we can help the board. That's was the kind of standard question we always ask the presenters about how we can help. But I do understand that this data represents all our kids here, not Harlan ISD. My concern is still what we can do as a school board to inspire more participation of our students, and I guess on all our campuses. Like Mr. Mancha says, that is a great achievement that those kiddos at Tejet are willing to take on college education. So whatever else we can do for you is, bring it to Mr. Soto's attention, and we'll most likely support it. It's like we support everything that Mr. Soto does. So thank you so much for your presentation.
Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Yes, Ms. Reese.
Mr. Gonzalez, I have a quick question. I know I'm looking at the celebrations and our partnerships that we've established with Contigo Ed, Mastery Prep, and Chalk Talk. Are we paying anything into those partnerships?
Yes, we are. And that's used with our college prep funds.
Ms. Ruiz, a good point. And I was looking at Mr. Flores, but he's still not used to looking at me when I look at him. So I was trying to see, Mr. Flores, where it said we went up 136% from 2023 to 2024. Those are dollar amounts. Top of your head, do you know where it went from, Ms. Casey? I know.
I can tell you the dollar amounts.
You have it? Okay.
It's from 95,000 in
Can you repeat that, please?
95,000 in 2023 to 224,000 in 2024.
And for those of us that may not quite understand, can you explain what that money means to that district?
So half of it needs to be spent on college, like CCMR initiatives. And the other half is can be used at the district's discretion.
So every time a student is successful, the district is successful, where we are educating them, and their success is helping this district educate others.
Yes, and we can use those outcomes bonus to grow our programs, like more opportunities,
I do have a question, if nobody else does. The increase, I know we just added a lot of courses. It seems that every year we add more on-ramp courses. Is the increase related to that, that we're giving the students more choices as far as courses they can take on ramp?
I think that has something to do with it, because I feel like those courses, the more courses a student takes, those advanced courses, it prepares them more for college. And the outcomes bonus is a little bit different than accountability because it really looks at TSI performance, if they're passing those college readiness assessments, and if they're enrolling in a post-secondary institution. So once the students do those two things, that's when we get, the TA provides the district with funding.
Thank you for that. Anybody else? Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez.
Thank you.
Moving on to agenda item 5B. Is it Dr. Hinojosa?
Yes,
Chief.
I don't believe, do we have any, Chief? Oh, okay, come on, Chief.
Good evening. Yeah, we had 3 audits this past month. Frank Tejeda, 0 finding. Mr. Garcia, good job. We had a KMS, Dr. Joyner and her staff did great, 0 findings. And this school, Gillette, 0 findings. So 3-0. Any questions?
Any questions for the chief? Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Happy
you.
Thanksgiving.
Thank you, sir. Before we move on to agenda item 6, I just wanted to remind those that are here in person and those that are watching remotely. A lot of times we are asked as individuals on the board, you don't ask questions when it's consent items. You don't ask for information. Are you all rubber stamping? Well, if you would tune in to the second Wednesday of every month, you realize that we have a board work session. And that is when the consent items are being presented to us. That's when the board can ask questions. That's when we can request more information. Between the second Wednesday of every month and the third Wednesday of every month that we come here on a regular board meeting, we have the opportunity to call Mr. Soto, email Mr. Soto, if we have more questions than those asked on that second Wednesday of the month, or if we have just want additional information, and he and his staff provide that to us. So I want to make it very clear to our community, we don't rubber stamp. We are educating ourselves through those presentations on the second Wednesday of every month, through the questions that each of us ask, through the emails that are sent to Mr. Soto, and he will then reply and share with us what information we all needed or what questions needed to be answered. So please understand that we come to get educated. This board is learning from staff and cabinet, and we take everything that we are presented seriously. We understand that this means the success to the district, so we are come prepared. We come knowledgeable. If there's ever a moment that we need more information, Mr. Soto is certainly immediately letting us know, we haven't gotten everything to you. We will get it to you on a particular date. And I think that's going to happen in one of these consent items. So rest assured, this board comes prepared because we do our homework. We are getting our information on this Wednesday, second Wednesday of every month. And between that Wednesday and the third Wednesday of every month, we are able to ask questions of Mr. Soto to answer for us or to provide us more information and resources. So moving on now to agenda item 6, consent items. Mr. Soto, is there one that you needed to make a change on? So Mr. Soto just redirected me as he does so often, and I appreciate. Those that are here in person, you are allowed to leave for the evening. We will see you tomorrow. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
Madam Chair,
Yes, Ms. Ortiz.
I move that we approve consent items 6A through 6H.
Thank you, Ms. Ortiz. Is there a second on her motion?
Madam Chair, I second.
Thank you, Ms. Salazar. Can we open up the vote, please? Okay, agenda item 6A through 6H. Motion carries. Moving on to individual items, that is agenda item 7A. Mr. Soto?
Yes, Ms. Casey?
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you, board. The board is asked to consider and approve granting the superintendent authority to negotiate and execute a performance contract with Texas A&M San Antonio Institute for School and Community Partnerships to establish the SB 1882 partnerships at Frank Tejeda Academy. This will be the Beyond Academy. It's appropriate with Senate Bill 1882. The superintendent will work collaboratively with this organization to establish a framework for partnerships, clearly defining the roles and responsibility of both the district and the operating partner. The performance contract will include specific academic model to be implemented, funding structure for the partnership, measurable academic and financial performance goals that the operating partner must achieve. The performance metrics ensure accountability and aligns with the district's commitment to improve student outcomes at Frank Tejeda Academy. Granting this negotiating authority will allow the timely finalization of the contract terms while ensuring the partnership can be operational for the 27 school year. And it also allows the district to apply for priority funds to supplement current funding for Frank Tejeda Academy.
Thank you, Ms. Casey. Are there any questions?
Madam Chair.
Yes, sir.
First, I want to apologize. I didn't introduce myself at the beginning, but also present is Jose M. De Luna, attorney for the district. And just so everyone here knows, what you all would be authorizing, if you do so approve, would be for Mr. Soto to execute and negotiate this agreement with legal review.
Thank you, Mr. Luna. Any questions for Ms. Casey or our attorney who's present here?
Madam Chair, I just have a question. Go over what is a 1882, what does that entail? That agreement with that, setting that up, because I know A&M has already Gus Garcia Academy here on Zarzamora and 410. So is this similar to what they're doing there already, or is it kind of a different kind of plan for our students?
So that's correct. They do have this already has an existing partnership with Gus Garcia. That is part of their application. They have to show that they have established a school and have successfully implemented one. What this will do with Frank Tejeda Academy, and it kind of goes to our conversation tonight, it's looking at providing pathways for college, looking at dual credit, and for certifications. As you know, Frank Tejeda is a smaller campus, so our students there don't have access to all of the pathways that we do at McCollum and Harlandale. This will be working with colleges and Texas A&M, Palo Alto College to expand opportunities for Frank Tejeda population. It directly aligns with all of the feedback that you gave us during the presentation regarding Frank Tejeda, because our expectation is that all our Frank Tejeda students graduate and they can either get a certification or a degree, and then of course go to college or career.
Thank you. Sounds like a good plan.
Any questions? Mr. Martinez? Did you want to move for a motion? Go ahead, Mr. Martinez.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve granting the
Excuse me.
superintendent.
Question.
I'm sorry,
One
yes.
question.
Sorry,
So,
Mr. Martinez.
does the SB 1882, Mr. Soto, only allow us to partner with a four-year institution? Or
The partnership would be with A&M San Antonio, but no, they could be taking some dual credit at all those other universities and colleges that were mentioned earlier at McCollum and Harlandale. Correct, Ms.?
community college, like Palo Alto College?
Correct. And in their plan is actually to partner with Palo Alto as well. They will be providing the certification courses.
That's okay. Mr. Martinez?
Madam.
Just to summarize, so what I'm understanding is that we're just really expanding the services that we have already for the others, like the high schools to Tejeda, so they have the same opportunities like the others do, which is awesome. Yes.
Yes, Mr. Luna, you're on it. And one of the things that Ms. Casey just kind of briefly touched on, it's also going to help us with some funding for that small campus of that number. Because it's hard to funnel that much dollars into a Frank Tejeda because there's not that many kids as the impact is at McCollum and Harlem, but it's not fair to them, as Mr. Mancha says. It's not fair to give them the same opportunity as the traditional schools. But again, there'll be some funding more per child. Hopefully it can offset some costs. Maybe they can even bring in another counselor, another behavior interventionist, or maybe another social worker, where it can help these kids be more successful. But again, that's all part of the plan besides giving them the same opportunity.
Any more questions or comments?
Can I just add one thing?
Ms. Casey.
Another component of this beyond FTA is going to be looking at capturing some adults, young adults that have left, maybe graduated and have not either graduated from high school and need a GED in a career or are looking for a career, kind of similar to our SA Works. This is something that we're also looking at, not just that, but looking in our community for any young adults or adults that want a college or career, which improves our community as a whole.
Madam Chair, I have a question.
Yes, Ms. Reese.
Of that comment. Ms. Casey, do we have an age cap when we talk about young adults?
I'm gonna have to get that to you. It's probably in the application, so I don't know that for sure, but I'll get in the application and we'll put it in HH.
Anyone else? Okay, Mr. Martinez.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve granting the superintendent authority to negotiate and execute with legal review a performance contract with Texas A&M San Antonio Institute for School and Community Partnership to establish an SB 1882 partnership at Frank M. Tejeda.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez. Is there a second on Mr. Martinez's motion?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Luna. Can we open up the voting, please? Okay, voting is closed. Agenda item 7A, motion carries.
Madam Chair,
Yes, Mr. Soto.
on item B, if we can bring it back, if we can pull that item and bring that back, that item, probably another month or 2 months.
Mr. Soto, so we want to table agenda item 7B for the December regular board meeting or the January one? Which would be best for staff?
Let's do an ETA and we'll see on the next work session to see if we're ready.
So the December work session, we'll bring it back.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Madam Chair, legally, do we have to vote to table it since it's on the agenda or?
Mr. De Luna?
I don't know, rule,
I do
probably.
not
order
believe so,
here.
no.
Perfect. So we will table agenda items. We will table agenda item 7B for next month to get more information. So thank you, Mr. Soto. Moving on to agenda item 7C. Is that Mr. Flores?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, Madam President, members of the board, Mr. Soto, Superintendent of Schools. This item is to consider and take appropriate action to approve a resolution to cast the district's votes for the election of the Bear Appraisal District Board of Directors for the term of January 2026 through December 2029. We presented this item last week during the work session. Since then, we have received a revision from the Bear Appraisal District. The revision is the amount of votes. So the initial amount presented was 37 votes. They have recalculated that and it's actually 14 votes. So the difference for our district is across the board for all entities, they've gone down. So they made that recalculation and I believe Ms. Juarez has provided the revised letter. So at this time, we're asking that the board allocate the 14 votes to the different candidates as the board chooses. You have 6 candidates to allocate those votes.
Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Flores. Yes, sir.
And so you all have 14 votes and there's all those nominees and there's actually 2 nominees who are on the board. So you all may decide to distribute those evenly. You may decide to allocate them to a single nominee. that's completely up to board discretion.
Thank you. So can I move for move on a motion for those votes? Yes?
You may. I have
Perfect,
some
okay.
language there.
So I move to split the 14 votes that Harlandale ISD has between Mr. Lee Martinez and Miss Becky Ruiz. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Mancha. And we can vote, please, on this agenda item? Okay, voting is closed. We are splitting those 14 votes we have between Mr. Lee Martinez and Miss Becky Ruiz. The motion did carry. Moving on to agenda item 7C.
Madam Chair.
Yes,
I'm
Ms.
sorry,
Reese.
just before we
Yes.
move on to the next agenda item, I do want to thank South San ISD. They gave me all of their votes, so just shout out to you guys. I appreciate your support.
Okay, moving on to agenda item 7D. Dr. Hinojosa?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair and members of the board. Mr. Soto, so a carryover from the previous discussion we had in regards to transitioning the mobility of our board meetings to a permanent location, and that being Morrill Elementary School, or Morrill Center, I'm sorry. So this is just a follow-up on that discussion in terms of whether that's going to become a permanent residence for the boardroom. And if so, and given that direction, then we would move forward with the renderings and discussions to be able to create that permanent space.
Thank you, Dr. Hinojosa. Any questions or comments about making the transition to a boardroom at Morrill Center? And right now, we're only going to vote to transition that into making it a boardroom. Anything else related to anything else related to when that's going to take place, what it's going to take place will be given to us at the next work session, Dr. Hinojosa?
Yes, Madam Chair, we can put some information together there, or we can provide something on HH.
Okay, perfect. Whatever gets to us sooner, so we can start learning about what are the next steps.
Yes.
Is there a motion for agenda item 7D?
Madam Chair,
Yes, Ms. Reese.
I move that the board approve the potential transition to a permanent boardroom location at Morrill Center.
Thank you, Ms. Reese. I will second your motion, and we can open up for a vote, please. Voting is closed. Motion carries on agenda item 7D. Moving on to agenda item 7E, discussion and possible action regarding revisions to the board operating procedures and communication guidelines. Mr. De Luna?
Madam Chair. So these are just some fairly minor revisions made to the superintendent's availableness and the superintendent wellness guidelines. There's one revision here, and you guys have a redline version, and the full version is in board book. There's one revision here that just extends when the superintendent is available, and that's to be available when the district has a board meeting and during district events. And then there's also some notice requirements from the board secretary to inform you all about the superintendent's availability or unavailability.
Thank you, sir. Any questions?
Madam Chair, can we just get a minute to go through this? Can we just get a minute to go
Yes,
through?
of course, yes. I just want, and while you all are looking, I just wanted to let Mr. Luna know, because these are something he wanted to address. He thought it was important for us to find out if and when Mr. Soto would not be available to us, who would notify us? Would it come from me or who it would come from? And so I, with the help of Mr. Soto, designated Ms. Patty to do that. If he is not at the district but is available for us. She will let us know if he's away and not available. She will let us know who we can reach out to. That way it's somebody neutral and not the board president contacting the other board members. And just for clarification, only the red lines are what is going to change. Everything else was already approved when we signed the board operating procedures, correct, Mr. Rodriguez?
That is correct, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, quick question.
Yes.
And I don't know if excuse me if I missed this, if you said this, but who recommended these additional changes?
Mr. Luna. Mr. Luna, you want to make a comment on that?
Sure. I just wanted to make sure, like, because we had voted, for example, like, it was just straight Monday through Thursday, Monday, Friday, for example, certain time. But like right now, it's almost 7:30 and that means, well, she'll be able to be talked to him if it's past time, well, we gotta wait till the next day. If we're at like a football game or a basketball event, and so if something happens, so we're supposed to just wait till the next day. And then I get also things like obvious things like emergencies, that we're supposed to just wait till the next day. If it's an emergency, no, we should tell them, if it's 1 o'clock in the morning or it's a snow day, what's gonna happen. Sometimes they don't find out till 5 o'clock in the morning, so it's gonna be certain things written down, and it always goes to my back thinking, if it's not written down, people will interpret it a different way or their own way. So the more we can write down to make it, make sure people understand when he is and not available. I don't know, there's a provision there that says emergency situations. I'm not sure about that.
There is a provision that accounts for the emergency situations, and I can read it. It's only one sentence. In the event of an emergency, board members should follow established emergency communication protocols to reach the superintendent or designated leadership personnel. And that was already in there.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the only clarification I need is like, we can need to add or something to designate between the board secretary, Ms. Juarez, and then Becky, the board secretary, because here, somebody reading it from the outside may not understand which secretary is going to notify us. So I don't know what word we need to change, or we have to add a clause, or it's always,
Well, it says the secretary to the board, not board secretary.
okay. Okay, secretary board, okay.
Thank you, Mr. Luna, for explaining that.
And just as a friendly reminder, our board operating procedures is a living document, so we don't have to wait a whole year to make changes, as long as there are changes that are to clarify and for transparency reasons. We can change them anytime, but we'd like to just kind of keep moving them along.
Madam Chair,
Yes, sir.
I move that we adopt the revision to the board operating procedures and communication guidelines as presented.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez. Is there a second on Mr. Martinez's motion?
Chair, I second.
Thank you, Ms. Salazar. We can open up the voting, please. Okay, voting closed. Motion for agenda item 7E did carry. Moving on to agenda item 8. Convene in closed session as authorized by the Texas Government Code, Chapter 551, Sections 551.071 through 551.084. Is there a motion for us to convene in closed session?
Madam Chair,
Yes, Ms. Reese.
I move that the board convene in closed session as authorized by the Texas Government Code, Chapter 551, Sections 551.071 through 551.084 to discuss items 8A, B, C, and D.
Thank you, Ms. Reese. Is there a second?
I
Ma-
second.
Thank you, Ms. Ortiz. Can we open up the voting, please? Okay, voting closed. Agenda item 8, to convene in closed session, motion carries. It is now 7:26. Thank you, Ms. Patty. Okay, thank you, everybody, for being so patient. We are back in open session at 9:20. Okay, agenda item 8A, no action taken. Agenda item 8B, is there a motion on the table?
Madam Chair. I move that, I move that Dr. Juan Hinojosa, Mr. Noverto Gonzalez, and Dr. Felicia Joyner are approved to receive a financial benefit for providing services outside of Harlandale ISD based on a determination that the contracts will not harm Harlandale ISD. The arrangement does not present a conflict of interest, and the services will be performed entirely on the administrator's personal time.
Thank you, Ms. Reese. Is there a second to Ms. Reese's motion?
Madam Chair, I second.
Thank you, Ms. Salazar. Let's open the vote, please. Okay, voting closed. Agenda item 8B, motion carries. Agenda item 8C, no action taken. Agenda item 8D, no action taken. Moving on to agenda item 10, to adjourn tonight's meeting. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair?
Yes, Mr.
Just
Luna.
take a brief moment of silence for Dr. Ms. Garnell. Y'all most know Ms. Garnell at Wright Elementary. Her husband passed away recently, and she's been an employee here for over 50 years. So just a moment of silence for Mr. Garnell.
Yes, sir.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank you, Mr. Luna, for bringing that to our attention. Is there a motion for agenda item 10?
Madam Chair, I move that we adjourn.
Thank you, Ms. Salazar. Is there a second to Ms. Salazar's motion?
Madam Chair, I second.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez, and let's vote on that, please. Okay, voting closed. And we do still have motion carries for agenda item 10. Meeting is adjourned. It is now 9:23. And board members, please make sure you get with Alec. We need to do a video.
And also, happy birthday to my daughter, Raven.